Okay, so in this video, I will show you how to self-edit and do the closed captioning for a single speaker. So once you log into YouTube, you can go into your studio where you have all the videos and your content. So I'm going to go into videos here on the left-hand side. I'll pick a video that I want to edit. So for this particular example, I'll do this video. And on the left-hand side, I will click on Transcriptions. Now, one note of caution is when you are just loading a video up, right in the beginning, if you go into Transcriptions, you may not see anything because it does take YouTube a bit of time. So once you load your video up, relax, you can go away. It depends. Sometimes it's 10 minutes, 15, 30 minutes, an hour, okay, through that it takes YouTube to load up your transcriptions in. Those are the auto-generated transcriptions. Okay, so you have two options here. The top one, which you can add, and I typically add an SRT file through that. Okay, so and I did a video on that one as well. Okay, I will link those into the notes here. And then the second one is the automatic, so that's the one that YouTube generates for us. Now on the top, we can edit this particular video, okay, and the captions. Now here on top, okay, so you have a few things I just want to show you. You can of course delete your draft if you're not happy with it. And once you're done with your draft, or you're kind of halfway through, you can publish the edited version, okay, by hitting this button. The other point I want to mention to you, because you're going to get a little bit frustrated, there's this keyboard shortcuts. Make sure you click on it, okay, and take a look, because very often when you are editing within, so I just want to show you, for example, okay, let's say you wanted to add a new line and you hit enter. Well, YouTube just generates a new caption and waits for you to input stuff in. That's because you notice that enter right here, it just adds a new subtitle. So if you want to shift a new line, you actually have to hit, okay, so here you have to hold shift, okay, and enter right here to add a new line. In any case, just wanted to point that out, because sometimes when you're just starting off, take a look at the shortcuts and what they actually do. Okay, so I'm going to delete this right here. So you can delete and add in between, okay, as you can see. Okay, so anytime you want to delete or add. All right. Now before we get started, okay, editing is not hard. I mean, you can go in here, you can type whatever you like. You know, you can adjust your timings. Okay, so you can enter the times here. Okay, notice that it tells you and shows you. Okay, you can adjust the times. And so once this is in, notice the blue lines, you can extend them. So this is kind of a nice way of, you know, adjusting the timings, okay, if that's necessary. Okay, and this just tells you how long that caption will be seen here. So those are subtle things that you can keep in mind, okay? And you can shift through this, okay? So I'm just grabbing and shifting along, okay? So that you can go slowly, okay? So notice I shifted this whole thing over, okay? Probably I shouldn't have done that, so I'm going to put it back. Okay, I think it was something like that. In any case, so we're going to edit this. So now what I want to show you is, so here are the guidelines that in one of the previous videos, you can find it on my channel. I mentioned these guidelines for closed captioning as a single speaker. So introducing yourself, making sure you're synchronizing with the audio, okay, making sure you use sentences and punctuations so it's much easier for the reader, not like YouTube, how they do it, it's just word by word, and there's absolutely no differences. There's all run on sentence. It never really stops. Okay, you should have a maximum of 26 to 32 characters per line and maximum of 2 lines per caption, and you should kind of pyramid upwards. And there's of course many other guidelines. Okay, and for those guidelines, I would highly encourage you to try to take a look, especially if you're making math and science videos, to look at the Khan Academy, okay, guideline. And I will link it. I linked it to one of the previous videos as well. Okay, but I'll link it here if you really want to know, okay, a little bit more on the closed captioning. Here I'm just going to go through these basic rules, okay, that we have. So let's go back here. So first thing it said, and I like to put capitalization, so introducing myself. There you go. As a single speaker, you only do this once. You do not do this for every single caption. So I'm not going to go to this caption and put my name and this caption. You just do it once in the beginning, and that's it. Okay, so that the speaker is identified. Now, okay, so let's edit this because we want as the, okay, so here we want to synchronize with the audio. We want to make sure we're using punctuations. We want to have a maximum of 26 to 32 characters per line. Okay, now you will get better at this and kind of trying to see, okay, what is the maximum 32. Sometimes you may go over. Okay, you should have only maximum of 2 lines and you should pyramid upwards. I want to show you all of these in one caption, and then the rest, of course, it's a lot of work. And you have to be able to be patient, okay, and learn this because it will take you time. Just to give you a glimpse, my first videos took me hours to try to caption in any way. Okay, but then it gets a little bit better. Okay, so I identified myself, so I'm going to put, again, because of the keyboard shortcuts, so I'm going to say Shift, okay, Enter, capitalization, so I'm going to use, so brackets and absolute value, okay, and I'll put period, okay. That's all that I want to show in the first one. Now this, okay, and the rest of it, so I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to cut it away, okay. From here, I'm going to add it to the next one. Okay, so notice, so here, I'm going to put that there, just so that it's still remaining and I don't lose it. Okay, so I added the new, and then I just pasted it back. So this, okay, as you're seeing the caption, notice this pyramid upwards. I've used punctualization, okay, so it is capitalized, it ends, brackets and absolute value, that's it, okay. Because you are speaking through your videos, the grammar in terms of commas, ideally they'll be in the right places, okay, and some of the sentences won't always be perfect sentences like in an essay, okay, so don't worry about it, but try the best that you possibly can, okay. So now I'm going to play this, okay. Okay, so that worked well. So it actually ended in the right spot there. Okay, now this one I can shift over a little bit. Okay, so this one I will shift. Okay, so that when it starts. Okay, and this is what you do. So notice you can shift them over. You can extend them now. And I will now again. So I'm going to capitalize this. So one thing that you should be aware of. Okay, and you can put comma. Okay, or you can put, okay, so whatever you feel is adequate. Okay, I'll probably put a comma in there. And notice again it pyramids upwards here. Okay, it's not too long, so this is not more than 32 characters in length. Okay, and it does pyramid up. So that's how you edit. Okay, and you can now change the timings. You can skew them one way, another way. You can shift them over. You can shift the other ones over. Okay, and you can slowly grind away through each one of them. Now the nice thing is, notice you can pause video while typing. So hit that so that it stops the video, and then every so often you're going to play it, and then you're going to go back and edit. That's all there is to it. It's simple, but it's not easy. It's actually really hard, okay, and it takes a lot of time. And that's why whenever possible, people send out their actual videos so someone closed captions, a professional does it for them, okay, and they can do it a little bit faster. But I have found, sometimes if you do send it off, you're going to be waiting and having a lag time. And the artificial intelligence way of closed captioning still isn't perfect. And unfortunately with this, perfection is really, really hard to obtain. Okay, but eventually I'm sure that AI will try to take this over. But for the moment, this is what you have. Okay, so let me, okay, in summary, okay, so your little guidelines, make sure you introduce yourself, you synchronize with the audio so that timings are aligned. Okay, you use sentence, case, and punctuation. Okay, you have a maximum of 26 to 32 characters per line, okay, and kind of 2 lines per caption, and you're pyramiding upwards. Okay, so those are the core basics. And if you really want to know what happens with numbers, with operations, or with scientific things, okay, I do encourage you to take a look, okay, at the link that I'll provide in the notes to the Khan Academy guide. Okay, so they're fantastic, and they clearly have done so many an abundance of videos that they have gotten pretty good at this. Okay, thank you for watching. Cheers.